Happy Saraswati Puja. This is a very powerful optimization today that I'm going to share with you guys. Basically, my understanding of quantum jumping is that you are literally going into that state in your mind that is different, that place in your mind that is different, associated with the emotions, the actions that you're going to be taking, the thoughts you're going to be having, right? All clumped up in the quantum. Well, quantum is everywhere, right? It is another realm. It is what we must access through our brainwave patterns, okay? Now, the best way to do this is through theta waves, okay? So if you have a binaural track of theta waves just playing in the background, you can actually use this with yourself. You can write your own hypnosis script where you let yourself, dive down into that state, come back up. What I've also noticed is that subliminals work a lot better with theta waves playing, okay? So if you're getting any subliminals from subliminalclub.com or any other platform, I use basically subliminalclub.com, and Harper Healing is a really good one. So any of those subliminals, if you play it with theta waves in the background, it'll actually give you that little bit of depth to the subliminal. It'll sink much deeper. Now, some of these tracks on Harper Healing also have theta waves embedded into them, and a lot of other YouTube protocols have theta waves plus subliminals already, so they already know this technology and they're using it quite well. But a lot of subliminals, you'll notice they don't have that dip or that relaxation element that the theta wave gives you, because the theta waves are associated with your daydreaming states, okay, when you're just kind of like thinking about something but your mind is kind of floating, right? It's in that imagination space. That is that space of the quantum where you can bring in your manifestations really quickly, okay? So there's some guided quantum jump. There's a quantum jump guided meditation on my channel as well. But then there's a lot of ways that you can actually quantum jump, specifically like any door or portal or opening. You can just imagine I'm walking into a new reality, okay? Like for instance, if you're taking a shower, you open the shower door, you're going in. It's almost like, Superman or Clark Kent going into the phone booth, changing. Superman comes out as Superman on the other side, right? So that's kind of the analogy that I want to give you based on this. So once you understand this concept of quantum jumping, now you can use any space, like you're just going to the restroom and you quantum jump and then you come back, right? It can be very, very useful to have this in your mentality once you're doing it, because it's all about intention, right? Even magic or any of these occult practices, they're all about intention, okay? Intentionality and all visualization is just daydreaming, theta waves, right? With intention. So it has more structure to it. And the alpha theta bridge is the flow state pocket, right? So that relaxed wakefulness with the daydreaming, in between that liminal space, there's flow. We're in the zone, okay? So even when you're in the zone, you're technically quantum jumping, in a sense, okay? Which is really cool to think about, if you really think about it, right? I'm in the zone, which means I'm creating a vortex around me, literally, right? You've noticed it when you walk into an environment, everybody's looking at you, or you're like on stage performing, or you have these group flow experiences or mind-bending experiences, right? Where you go, whoa, that's trippy. How did that happen? What? That's a miracle. Oh, but right? These incidences, these aha moments, these spikes, they happen through something called the gamma jump, okay? So basically the alpha theta bridge moves like this, right? And then suddenly when you're in that optimal state, that peak state, there's a little jump that's even higher than beta or waking consciousness. It goes into gamma, right? And so these little gamma jumps of, oh, I get it. Oh, I see, right? It's like that kind of epiphany or that breakthrough moment where you're going, oh, everything is starting to click. Everything is starting to link together. I get it, right? That feeling of integration. And I don't think gamma has been studied as readily as, it's associated with like memory, like faster cognition, things like this, accelerated learning as well. So if you want to learn something, definitely incorporate gamma waves, make sure you're using headphones for a lot of these brainwave, binaural beats and things like this. However, you got to understand that it comes with a crash, okay? Because if you are putting your brainwaves through a lot of stress, so if you're listening to 1,000 binaurals a day, it's gonna make you feel pretty depleted. There's a reconciliation with kind of altering our brainwaves in our mind, okay? But quantum jumping is a very interesting theme, and I think that a lot of people think they understand it. Anybody with a keyboard thinks they understand it, right? It's like, we truly haven't formulated this thing yet, and so we're all just practitioners trying to make our own method work, or work this thing out together, right? Like, there shouldn't be any kind of weird animosity between two practitioners and people who sees that, oh, this is the right way to astral project and this is the wrong way. Listen, who are you? Are you the authority on astral projection? Okay, let me see your credentials first, and then we can talk. Okay? Like, I'm not here to sit here and preach to you guys what exactly is the right way for you to manifest, or right way for you to, do any of these things. It's just a way that has worked for me, worked for my clients who had breakthroughs, transformations, all that, right? So I'm just sharing from that space, you get it? So another thing that's really cool with quantum jumping, and I've noticed this in social interactions as well, is that when I'm talking with someone and then they will shift right there in front of me. Now, there's a way for you to do this actually, to help people quantum shift with you. And the way you do this is actually, in that moment, let's say someone is venting or complaining to you, try doing this. Like, you hold their energy from the bottom of your belly, you inhale and you bring it up to your third eye. Okay, you just hold it for a while as they're venting. Hold it. It's almost like you're holding their reservoir of tension, right, up here, and then that person you're talking to, right, is being reflected to their eye as they're making eye contact with you. And then just exhale kind of normally, but just as you let it go. And you'll feel a change or a shift in that dimensional space, right? Because all breath is doing is creating more space, remember. Okay? So when you can hold your breath with somebody and recalibrate or rebalance your state of mind, right? Going from, sympathetic to parasympathetic, or, these two systems. That's just another fancy way of saying, fight or flight to rest and digest. So basically, that holding of the breath, you can actually bring someone's energy up if they're very down, very low, right? Merely using your physicality and your breath holding, right? And I've noticed this is not, I don't know if this is scientifically proven, like you can't go out there and probably find stuff on this, but this has been tested through me and a lot of other people. Let me know if this does work for you as a method, because it's very powerful. And you got to understand what you feel, they feel, right? So if you were raising and holding your breath, they're going to feel like a rising within themselves, right? And that's kind of how we're looking at it, because we're all mirrors in a sense. Mirror neurons, the secret to all of this, okay? So let's say that you want to quantum shift and you want to be a bit more like, I don't know, who's out there? Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington, I don't know. Mariah Carey, whatever. You want to be some kind of star or whatever, like, or let's say just one quality of theirs, right, that you want within your personality. So to quantum jump into a reality that they're more likely to influence you and have their traits along with yours, you would need to actually be able to go into the visualization, either meeting them and then merging with them, or imagining that you're almost taking their brain, okay? Now, this is a very powerful integration, okay? When you can take their brain and, embed their brain with your brain, almost, would be the visualization. This is moderately adapted from the Rykov method, if you've ever heard of it, where you take someone's, like a helmet off of someone's head, and it's kind of like putting their face or their head over your head like a mask, okay? But this is such a powerful hypnosis session and suggestion, and it will give you absolute certainty, right? I've noticed, I've done it, and of course it's good to do anything for 21 days so that it becomes a habit. However, it's very good to do this at least once or twice a week, just because that quantum shift needs to be readily reminded. And again, once you quantum shift, you'll find little reminders or synchronicities in your environment, like telling you that this is the thing to do. Oh wait, I can't believe I just saw that. Or what, I keep seeing repeated numbers or whatever, right? Like, you're gonna see lots and lots of synchronicities after you quantum jump, because the new reality is gonna be a reminder of that. And sometimes, scary enough, you know, you'll be like, wait a minute, this keyhole is different. Or like, hey, suddenly my room is different. Or hey, like I went outside and like, you know, a tree that used to be there is gone, or some, like, these little trippy moments will sometimes happen to you, and you got to understand you're in a parallel universe, buddy. Okay, you got to understand how to deal with that. You got to understand the concepts. We can't really understand it. We understand it through the Mandela effect and so forth, but we can only understand to so much. But don't let that freak you out. Continue with the process. You know, learn how to do this regularly. There's lots of quantum meditations you can do regularly, and I just need 22 minutes for my one. I can share the link, the one I used, in the bio. But basically, this was a very powerful understanding for me that, okay, I'm there now. Now, what am I going to do from that new reality? That was a really important question, because it's about the doingness and the beingness and the havingness, right? But it starts with the beingness. It's also, what am I going to do? Because the doingness is also on the back burner, right? The actions that I'm going to take once I step into that new reality. And that's a powerful thing to understand, because my actions are going to change my thoughts, and my thoughts are going to change my emotions, and it's going to restart that kind of psychic cycle, right, in my mind, of my thoughts, you know, basically merging with another person's, okay? And you know, a lot of times we can create these psychic scenarios with other people where we hold an image of them. If we think about someone over and over and over again, we are creating more of a psychic link, okay? We're creating more of a psychic link to them. So it's important to understand that if you are too attached to a certain energy, you need to cut your cords energetically from that other person. That comes through, again, intention, but also a physicalization of, like, I'm letting this go. I'm burning this piece of paper that reminds me of them. I'm closing the chapter. I'm blocking this person. I'm doing something that symbolizes that this has come to an end. This manifestation is fizzled out, in a sense, okay? But anyway, guys, gotta get going. Today's Saraswati Puja. Headed to a date today. Let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. Let's go. Boom.